What's up? What's up?
What it do, Being Crew? It's your boy Savon Thomas back with another episode of Coffee and Comments, and we are on season 4 of Game of Thrones, and it's starting to get really good. Like, I am enjoying the story more and more. Going into it, obviously, I mean, Game of Thrones is kind of renowned for how good of a show it is, but this storyline is getting really good. I mean, all my favorite characters are gone, so I feel like I'm paying more attention to the storyline and things going on versus just like cheering for certain characters. Again, it's not Game of your favorite characters, Game of Thrones. And so like I'm watching this, I'm like, man, this is getting good. This is very interesting. And I think the biggest reason that I like season 4 is because Joffrey finally died. That was the biggest thing for me with season 4 that I was so excited about. Which it sounds terrible. The dude's like 13 years old, and I'm excited about like a little kid or a teenager dying, but he was the most annoying person of the entire show. And him and Cersei, that's the only two people I hate. I realized that. I thought I had a problem with the Lannisters, but I don't. Tyrion's cool. Jaime's been kind of more chill. He had an ego in the first season, but he's been chill for the past few seasons after being captured. And then Tywin's, I don't hate him. I don't like him either, but I do respect him. He just commands respect. So it's just... now it's just, one person left, and that's Cersei. She is manipulative. She is lying. She's very protective. She's a mother. She's very protective, but she just is an annoying person, just period. So that's who I didn't like for the Lannisters, was those two people. And so season 4 really, it really just plays, a majority of it plays off of what happened in King's Landing. So season 4, just to do some recap for people that haven't seen it or that have seen it but want to hear my reaction to it, starts off with Joffrey getting married to Margaery Tyrell, which I have no problem with that. I mean, I felt bad for Margaery because he was, kind of a butthole. I mean, Sansa already married Tyrion. And then at the wedding feast, Joffrey's being a asshole to Tyrion, making him do different things that piss me off even more. So when he drinks the poison cup, I am super, at least I think that's how he died. But I was so excited that he died. I was like, bro, thank you, God. But with his death, Tyrion was the person that they said, Cersei said, accused of killing Joffrey. And so he, throughout the season, basically is just arrested. He's going on trial for the death of Joffrey. And I don't know, you see everybody turn on Tyrion, except for a couple people. There's a few people that have his back, but you see everybody turn on Tyrion, even Tywin. Even the girl that he loved, that he had to tell her to get her to safety, some certain words that he didn't want to say. He loved her, but he's trying to protect her. And then even she turns on him. That made me mad. Shay, well, I was like, come on, Shay. When she went on trial and talked about Tyrion, I was like, come on, Shay. But she didn't know. I mean, all she knew, she didn't think he was protecting her. She just knew that he was being asked to her. So she's like, well, I'm going to return the favor with the favor. I'm going to kill you. And so, but Tyrion got the last laugh. But yeah, that's really most of season 4 is spent like in King's Landing, dealing with Tyrion and the trial. He chooses to have a trial by combat. You have a prince from Dorne who comes to King's Landing to revenge his sister who died at the hands of the Mountain. And so when Cersei picks the Mountain as her warrior, her champion, in the trial by combat to fight Tyrion, or Prince Oberyn is his name. He goes and elects himself as Tyrion's warrior. And literally, this guy beats the Mountain. Beats him up, kills him, but he's so cocky and he's so... I don't know. It just made me mad how he ends up dying. So he ends up losing and dying because he cuts the Mountain's leg, like he makes him fall, stabs him. The Mountain's literally dying. He's had to finish off the job. But he's trying to tell the Mountain, hey, say my admit what you did. Say my sister's name, blah, 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 blah. The Mountain literally sideswipes him. He punches him in the mouth, knocks his chiclets out, grabs him by his face, very brutal, gruesome, grabs his eyes, squeezes his eyes, and smashes his head and kills him. Literally, do have to fight one. Tyrion would have been free. He would have been free. He would have avenged his sister that died at the hands of the mountain, and then he ended up dying because his ego and overbearance. And so it's actually pretty funny because Prince Oberyn. I said this when I tweeted out some stuff, but follow me on Twitter, by the way, too. Prince Oberyn reminds me of Inigo Montoya. Like, if you guys have seen The Princess Bride, Inigo Montoya, he's like, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And so the whole time he's trying to find the six-fingered man to kill him, and he keeps on telling him, my name is Inigo Montoya. And so I literally was like, the whole time I'm watching season 4, I'm watching this, and I'm like, this guy reminds me of somebody. I couldn't think of it. And then when he fought the mountain, he was like, you killed my sister, blah, blah, blah. He's like, say it. And I was like, this dude is freaking Inigo Montoya. That's what his character reminded me so much of, and it was hilarious. So, but that kind of sucked to see him die. I was like, man, I thought he'd live in that place. Because I know from conversations that Dorne plays a bigger part in this show. I don't know what happens with Dorne. I just know it does play a bigger part, and we'll eventually see people again, like Marcella, the princess. I thought he'd play a part because he's from Dorne, but that's neither here nor there. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so that's what happens in King's Landing. Tyrion actually escapes at the end, kills Shay, and I was like, man, you know, that's vengeance. That's rightful vengeance. I get it. Like, I was like, bro, I get it, Tyrion. I would choke her out too if I was you. Though I don't advocate violence against women, I would choke her out. And then he killed his dad, Tywin, while he's on the pooper, and then takes off and escapes. So I think Lord Varys went with him. I'm assuming Lord Varys went with him. He's on the ship at the end. But yeah, so that is what happens with King's Landing. During all of that, Sansa Stark escapes by the help of Lord Baelish, Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, whatever you want to call him. And they go to the Vale because he's now Lord of the Vale. He marries Lisa Arryn and then kills her. And so he has a love for Sansa. I'm hoping that Sansa doesn't choose to be Lord Baelish's wife or be his woman because that's the easier route. I mean, for her, with everything she's been through in the capital in King's Landing and finally escaping, I would understand if she made the choice just to go with Littlefinger and just, you know, be his wife and be Lady of the Vale and have a nice life and a husband who adores you or whatever. I mean, because he really loves her. I don't think he's going to do right by her, but if she did choose to be with Baelish, I would understand kind of her perspective because she's been through a crap ton of stuff. Like, her life at the Capitol was not what she thought it was going to be at all. So I get that, but it is what it is. I'm not really excited about hopefully Sansa, you know, makes a smart decision and not just the easy decision. But that's really Sansa. I mean, she's in the Vale. She deals with her aunt. That's really pretty much it for her. Arya is still traveling with the Hound. They were going to the Vale as well to see Aunt Lysa. She's traveling with the Hound. There's a lot of, I mean, their journey is just a journey. Just you seeing her story play out. Arya is going to become a savage. I can already tell. Like, she's killing people. She's taking gold. She's going to become a savage one. Just a traveler doing her own deal. And so I hope she reunites with Jon at some point, Jon Snow. I hope she reunites with one of her family members because they got to the Vale, and when they did get to the Bloody Gate, they're like, you know, who comes? And then they're like, Arya Stark to see her aunt. And they're like, oh, she died 3 days ago. Arya just had to laugh because everybody in her family just seems to be dying when she gets there. Like, her brother died, or her mother died right when she got to, was it River Run or wherever the Red Wedding was. And then now she gets to Vale, and then her aunt's dead, right? She doesn't know that Sansa's there, though. Sansa is there, so if she had gone, she'd be reunited with her sister, but she just, they chose to turn around. So, so that was kind of sad, but, and then Brienne of Tarth leaves to go find Lysa as well. And then it's a lot going on. She ends up killing the Hound. And then you see Arya go off, and she's now headed to Bravos, right? Hopefully we see the reemergence of not the headless man, the faceless man, because he's one of my favorite characters. But I can't say that anymore, because every time I say my favorite character, they die. So I stopped calling Tyrion my favorite character. I thought he was going to die in season 4, but he lived. Thank God. But I'm not calling anybody my favorite character, because when I do that, they die. So I'm not cursed. It is what it is. Then the other biggest part of season 4 is Jon Snow and his dealings with the wildlings and Ygritte and the wildlings there. And I'm gonna stop right here just to say I was wrong about Jon Snow.
You're goddamn right.
Jon Snow is not useless. Jon Snow proved to me in episode 9 of season 4 that he has value, he has worth, he can fight, he can lead men, he can lead an army. Like he is a very valuable character. And up to that point, he hadn't really done much. He's taught people throughout the show like how to do different things, but he wasn't really like an effective leader, effective person. Didn't kill anybody. I mean, killed a couple people here and there, but he showed in season 4 like he was on the wall trying to give, first of all, he tried to tell the people, hey, we should probably, block this part of the wall off. They weren't listening to him. Then he goes on the wall, and they're fighting the army of wildlings coming against them. And he's trying to lead the army, but the dude's like, no. And then they get him out of there, and then Jon leads the army, and they kill the wildlings and get him off the wall. And then the people that are on the other side of the wall that climbed over, he's like, you know what, I'm going to go down there and kill those people, and does that. And I'm just like, Jon Snow, okay, Jon Snow, you try to prove to me that you got some gumption, and he did. I mean, I tweeted this out as well, but I take back what I said about Jon Snow. So my bad, Kit Harington, your character is a real one. I apologize. Up until that point, though, he ain't done jack crap. And then seeing Ygritte again with Jon, that was touching. I laughed though because like they were having like a moment when she died, and there's a whole like battle going on in the background, and Jon's over here holding Ygritte, but it was sad to see her die. I did enjoy the character, but it is what it is. I mean, I feel like most, if not all, characters are going to die in this freaking show, so don't get attached to any of them. And then what else happened in the show? Oh yeah, Bran's headed north. He finally got to the tree. Found out the three-eyed raven was a person, and so he's learning to, I guess, his warg abilities more. And that's pretty interesting. He has Hodor to like fight for him. Like he's like, I can take over Hodor's mind and just fight with Hodor. And so that's pretty interesting. He can just take over, I guess, animals' minds. I guess smaller brain creatures' minds easily. And so we'll see what happens with Bran. But there's a lot of like things going on. And lastly, Daenerys, obviously, but she's over. Yeah, killing masters, taking over kingdoms over there before she makes her march across the narrow sea to King's Landing. But she's just freeing the slaves. Like Daenerys is pretty cool. She's over there freeing slaves because she once was a slave. She finds the need to free slaves, and that's really awesome. And so we'll see what happens with Daenerys. I'm ready for her to fight somebody. Like they fought people. Don't get me wrong, but they fought like, slave owners, masters, and taking over like stuff. Like, come to King's Landing and fight freaking Tywin Lannister. Or he's dead now, so I guess I shouldn't say that. But go take over King's Landing. Like they are freaking out. I guess Stannis Baratheon might. There's a lot going on. I mean, it's a Game of the Thrones, right? It's a battle for the throne. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited though. I'm excited for season 5. Like, now that my mind is clear, now that all my favorite characters are dead, which sounds terrible, I'm excited to see how the story plays out. And it's already interesting. Like I haven't started season 5 yet, but season 4 really set out for some interesting things to see what happens. Daenerys, unless she gets to King's Landing, I'm interested, but not really. But really want to see what happens with Arya and Braavosi. Want to see what happens with Jon Snow at the wall. And then Tyrion, like what happens to Tyrion? Where does he go? Where does he end up? That's really what I'm most excited about. King's Landing, I want to see the reaction. I feel like Jaime's going to feel kind of double crossed because he released Tyrion and then Tyrion killed his father. So he might feel some type of way about Tyrion. I would. I mean, if I released my brother doing the right thing and he killed my father, I'd be like, bro, you're an asshole. But we'll see what happens. King's Landing's kind of like a mute point now for me. There's nothing really enticing there. Because Sansa's gone. I mean, you have Cersei, you have Jaime, you have Tommen. I guess Tommen and Marjorie, by the way, that's a weird relationship to me. Because the kid's like 8 years old, 10 years old. Marjorie, I mean, she could be like 16 or maybe 20. I mean, she's older, so, you know. But even then, it's still like it's still kind of weird. Like, but that's just normal back then. But anyways, now I'm just ranting, so I'm gonna cut this off. But excited for season 5. That is my season 4 recap and reaction. Appreciate you for tuning in this far. Thanks for following me. Thanks for watching this video. Feel free. Hey, let me just say this. Don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Don't be afraid to like the video. You don't have to. You don't want to. But don't be afraid to follow your boy. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Don't be afraid to give this video a like. Even comment below if you want to. It's up to you. Do your own thing. But do you. Right? But don't be afraid. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be afraid to follow your boy on this journey. So thanks for tuning in. Another episode of Coffee and Comments.